So, welcome to the module on upgraded nutrition. This is Nutrition 101. This is where we have to start first. And we'll go through this. This is going to help you understand how to lose body fat, how to build muscle, how to estimate your calories. And it is the foundation of where you have to start from before you get into more advanced strategies. So, with that said, let's keep this quick, but we're going to go over a couple things together. First off, before getting into this, you need to understand your goal. What is it that you're trying to achieve? Are you trying to get leaner and more ripped, or are you trying to get bigger and add more weight? If you're trying to add more weight, you're going to have to upload your calories. If you're trying to get leaner, you're trying to burn body fat, that requires a whole different approach. You also need to factor in how often are you getting activity? Are you working out 3 times a week? Are you working out 5 times a week? Are during your day, are you doing other physical labor? Are you walking? Are you biking? Are you jogging? Factoring all of those things in, because basically it really boils down to we have to burn more than we're consuming. So you can do this one of two ways. You can do this through nutrition, which is the absolute easiest way to do this, and I'm going to show you exactly how. Or you could try to out exercise yourself, but if you don't dial in the nutrition, that may not work either. That may be a lot harder to do. And an example is, let's say you have a banana. Banana is about 100 calories. You may have to run on the treadmill for 15 minutes, 20 minutes just to burn that banana. Whereas if you look at nutrition at a deeper level, you'll be able to work with it and have nutrition do a lot of the heavy lifting for you. That way it becomes way easier. That's what I'm going to share with you right now. First, you need to determine where you currently are today. The picture I have on the screen is body fat percentages. You can Google this, you could type this up. Basically, you're going by a photo. So take a look in the mirror, take a photo of yourself. Where do you fall on this scale? What I recommend for all men is you want to get to 10% body fat before you make your decision. Because let's say you're at 20% body fat. If you still try to bulk, what's going to happen is you're going to add way more fat than you want. And what all that's going to do, it's going to make the time frame of you getting that desired result of being lean, ripped, muscular, jacked, you're just pushing that way further down the road. Whereas if you get yourself to 10% first, now you can look in the mirror on a daily basis, and now you can determine, oh, do I have to dial calories back a little bit? Do I need a little more? I know personally, I look at lines. When I start to lose definition in my abs, when I start to lose definition in my chest, I know I'm eating too much food, and therefore I back it up a little. It is the number one way to get the fastest result. And if you use this, you'll know exactly approximately where you fall in regard to body fat percentage. But once again, all men, I believe, should get to 10%. And then from there, now you can start to build more muscle from there. So the simple math works out like this. If you need to get a notepad, get a notepad. But basically, let's say we have a guy that's 200 pounds and maybe he is 20%, let's just say, right? Maybe he has some love handles he's trying to get rid of. He's trying to get rid of the lower part of his abs. He looks a little muscular, goes to the gym, works out pretty strong. However, he just wants to sort of get a little more shredded. So he's going to need to cut down to 10%, just like we showed in the picture. Now, if he's 200 pounds, 10% of 200 pounds is 20 pounds. So therefore, that guy would need to go from 200 pounds down to 180 pounds. And once he's at 180 pounds, he will then look like the 10% picture because he's cut down to 10% body fat. So that should make sense to you. So if his goal is the 180, he wants to get down to 10%. Then in order to do that, the easiest way from a math perspective is to figure out your calories this way. Take the goal weight. So if he's 200 pounds and he's trying to cut down to 180, he's going to take the goal of 180 and he's going to times it by 10. That's going to give you 1,800 calories. That is your threshold. That's your floor, right? This formula is easy. This is also factoring in activity. Let's say you're working out 3 to 5 times a week. This automatically is factoring that in. It is one of the easiest mathematical formulas to go by. Let's say he's on the other side of the spectrum. Maybe he's already lean, but now he wants to bulk. He wants to add way more muscle, but he's already pretty lean. Then if he's trying to gain, you could just take your body weight and times that by 20, and that's going to give you the 3,600 calories a day. So basically timesing that lean body weight by 20. And it's not that you have to hit this every single day. Calories are very important, but also other factors like digestion, the quality of the food, the timing of the food. You need enough space in between meals for things to completely digest and absorb. If you're eating now and then you eat 2 hours later again, and then you eat 2 hours later again, you're constantly spiking insulin. You're keeping your body in a fat storage mode. Not to mention, most meals that contain protein or a decent amount of protein are going to take about 4 to 6 hours to digest. So do the math. If you're eating and then 2 hours later you're eating again, that first meal is not fully digested. So you may be thinking you're getting all this stuff in, but your body's not fully absorbing it. And this is the real game changer for you if you're trying to change the way you look and feel. Beverages you want to focus on. This is the easiest area to get rid of excess calories. If you're drinking fruit juice, if you're drinking soda, if you're drinking Gatorade, Body Armor, any of that stuff, it's all extra calories. You're drinking them. They add up really fast. Not to mention, most of those things have a ton of added sugar. That's going to spike your insulin. It's going to spike your cortisol. And what that tells your body is stay in a fat storage mode. We don't want to burn any of this fat. We want to keep it in a fat storage mode. It's much easier to get rid of those beverages. Focus on water. You could also focus on sparkling water. There's tons of brands out there that have no added sugar, just natural flavors. You get watermelon, you get lemon lime, you get orange. They taste good, so that way it's water that has taste, plus the little bit of carbonation, a little bit of sparkle. Feels like you're drinking a soda, but there's no calories at all. It's going to be amazing for your body. With that said, a lot of people online want to tout, oh, well, just drink a Coke Zero or drink that. A lot of those main big brands put a lot of artificial chemicals into that stuff, and that stuff's going to mess with your digestion. It's going to mess with your gut health. It's going to mess with your focus. I would suggest stay away from that stuff. Sparkling water is way better. Throughout the morning, I like to drink black coffee. So that's no sugar, no cream, no added calories. Plain black coffee is practically 0 calories. Same thing with green tea or black tea. Just get the tea bag, put it in water. That's all you need. That way you sort of have caffeine. You have beverages coming throughout the entire day. That's going to help you out tremendously because you're going to get rid of excess calories. With that said, if you are drinking, I do not recommend drinking alcohol. It's sabotaging your progress, sabotaging your results. All alcohol has calories, not to mention the impact on the liver and how you process fats and carbohydrates. It sabotages your energy. It puts you in a state of brain fog. And you all know the feeling if you drank heavy the night before, the next morning you have a headache, you don't feel right, you're not 100%. So it's only probably going to hold you back on your journey. However, if you are drinking alcohol, I would recommend keep it as clean as possible. So either a sparkling seltzer that has a little bit in there, sort of like a White Claw or something like that. Or if you're going for actual liquor, then you would go for like a vodka or a tequila or a clear liquor or a touch of whiskey, maybe a shot or so. You don't want all the added stuff. So you don't want a ton of sweeteners and all these fancy drinks. You want to keep it as simple as possible, and that's going to help you as best as possible. With that said, if you are drinking, make sure that you're hydrating throughout that entire time. And just a quick note, a good rule of thumb is half your ounces in body weight. So if you're 200 pounds, you want to aim for 100 ounces of water. That should give you pretty good hydration. Also, when you go to the bathroom, when you pee, it should not be complete. If it's completely clear, you're too hydrated. If it is too yellow or too orange, you are dehydrated. So you want it to be mostly clear with a very light tint of yellow or a very light tint of light orange. And that is going to signal that your body is adequately hydrated. With that said, next most important part is protein. Aim for 1 gram of protein per pound of lean body weight. If you're the 200-pound guy, you're trying to get to 180 pounds, aim for 180 grams of protein a day. Why is this so important? Protein is going to help you maximize muscle synthesis, protein synthesis. So you're going to be able to build muscle easier. You're going to become stronger. You're more fuller for longer. It's going to stabilize your blood sugar. Plus, when we have extra carbohydrate, that can get stored as fat. Whereas when you have extra protein, technically, yes, it can get stored as fat, but it's much harder for the body to do that. So therefore, a lot of the protein that you eat goes directly to your muscle. The best sources are beef, eggs, chicken, fish, whey protein. I like sardines, mackerel, tuna. I get omega-3s through that. Sometimes I'll go grab a rotisserie chicken at the store. I'll either eat half of it or the whole thing. I'll take ground beef, throw that in a pan real quick, a little bit of avocado. These are all great ways. And then also you have pre-done sort of drinks. You have brands like Quest. I like a brand called OWN, Only What You Need. It's a pretty clean form of protein, 32 grams, no added sugar. And so I'll just keep like a 4-pack in the fridge. I'll take 1 or 2 with me on the go in my bag if I'm on the go that day. And then that way you're getting an extra 30 to 60 grams of protein a day just through that. So whatever is most convenient for you, you want to aim for a minimum of 100 grams a day. That should be the minimum number that you hit. That's going to make sure you have enough protein to do what the body needs it to do. Plus, you have the little bit that's going to start going towards muscle. The closer you get to 1 gram per pound of body weight, the better off you're going to be because you're going to have all the extras in reserve. In regard to that, carbohydrates, they are not good or bad. It is when you have them can make them good or bad. You want to avoid sugar almost at all costs. The reason is sugar will spike insulin. The minute insulin spikes, your body's going to be in fat storage mode. It's very hard to burn fat, not to mention all the other issues that come with people that deal with blood sugar imbalances and people that have diabetes symptoms. It's really dangerous. So it can do, blood sugar can wreak a lot of havoc in the body. So the best thing we can do is avoid things that have added sugar. That's going to automatically lower our sugar content. Even better if you focus on fruit, potatoes, sweet potatoes, white rice. These are your best types of carbohydrates. You want to try to stay away from even breads, pastas, things with flour, because even though they're bread and pasta, when they come into the body and they're made of flour, it does the same thing that regular sugar does. It will spike insulin through the roof. There's not a lot of fiber there, and therefore your body's going to be in fat storage mode. It's a lot harder to burn fat that way. Even better, if you consume carbohydrates around the day you have activity. So if you're working out, you want to have more carbohydrates. Days that your rest days or you're not working out as much, just stick to protein and fat as much as possible. That one trick alone is going to get you cut, ripped, shredded as fast as humanly possible. So an example is I'll fast, and then before the gym, I'll have a banana, and sometimes 2 bananas if it's a heavy workout. Or I may fast, and then right after the workout, I'll have white rice with ground beef. But basically, you want to, if you're having carbohydrates, you want to put them around the time that you're working out. That way, they're going to get used, they're going to get burned up, and they're not going to get stored as fat. Fats, with that said, extremely important. Your testosterone is created through the quality of the fat that you eat. Your hormones are created through the quality of the fat that you eat. If you are eating shit fat, you will have shit hormones, I promise you. You will also probably have shit skin. Now, you want to look for hydrogenated oil. So brands of peanut butter like Skippy and Jif have hydrogenated oil. This will destroy your hormones. Plus, not to mention, they clog your arteries. This is an artificial man-made fat. It is not intended for human consumption. It will cause you a lot of issues. And guess what? Because this fat is man-made, the body does not break it down correctly. More than likely, it will get stored away. It becomes way harder to lose weight this way, way harder to burn fat. If you're having fried food, that's trans fats. That's a ton of hydrogenated oil. It's going to cause a lot of inflammation in your body. I know for me in particular, when I have stuff that is fried, French fries and stuff, I break out like a maniac. I get acne all over. To me, it is not worth it at all. If you are getting packaged food, or you're at a restaurant or whatever the case is, you want to try to avoid canola oil, soybean oil, safflower, sunflower. These are called seed oils. They are really not great. They cause a lot of inflammation. They cause skin issues. They cause digestive issues. And it's much harder for the body to burn these types of fats. Whereas if you use higher quality fats, olive oil, coconut oil, avocado oil, if you're cooking, you want to use butter or ghee or even tallow. So basically animal fat. And that way it is very healthy. It's going to help boost testosterone. It's going to help optimize your hormones. Plus, the quality of your hormones are going to be dictated. When you're eating healthy fat, you have healthy cholesterol, healthy hormones. When you're eating bad fat, you're going to have bad hormones. So the quality of the food will dictate how your body works. You have a Ferrari. You want to maintain it as best as possible. You want to put the highest quality fuel into it as possible. It's going to perform better. You're going to boost your metabolism. It's going to be so easy to stay lean, ripped, and muscular. You don't even have to do any extra work because you're eating food throughout the day anyways. All you have to do is just make it as good as possible. And with that said, the number one strategy I have for men that will get you lean, that will get you muscular, that will get you ripped as fast as humanly possible is literally fasting. You do not need to eat 6 times a day. You do not need to eat 5 times a day. I have 100% proof. You can build muscle strength, be ripped. You could stay like that all year long. There is no bulking season, cutting season. It is the number one thing. Men have done this for thousands of years. When they were hunter-gatherers, they did not sit down to have breakfast, protein cereal, oatmeal, none of that shit. They went out on a hunt. Sometimes they caught the animal. They had a feast. Sometimes they missed the animal and did not eat for 2, 3, 4 days at a time. They were still fit. They were still muscular. They were still able to hunt. The body is primed for this approach. If you're not at least 10% body fat, you have to use fasting to lean down. Otherwise, you are going to be putting all your food on a scale 24/7. And I don't know about you, but that is an absolute pain in the ass to me. Much easier for me to just skip breakfast and sort of eat whatever I want the rest of the day. If you agree with that approach, this is the approach for you. No food until 12 p.m. That should sort of be a rule. Breakfast is not the most important meal of the day. Actually, if you think of your gas tank, let's say we fill the gas tank, and now if we overflow the gas tank, it's going to take a lot more. We have to burn through all the overflow to then tap into the gas to burn the fat, right? Whereas if we empty the tank first, when we eat, it just takes us to full. It does not overflow. It's super effective. So throughout the morning, no calories. You want to wake up with water. I get a refillable bottle. I will drink this first thing in the morning before I have coffee. Then I will have 12, 16 ounces of coffee, black coffee. And I may have 1 or 2 cups throughout the morning. I may have another 1 or 2 of these throughout the morning. As long as you're hydrated, you're drinking liquids, it's amazing for focus, productivity. Your body's in fat burning mode. Right now it is 2:42 p.m. I am still fully fasted. I feel amazing. I have energy. I'm strong. I feel good. If you haven't tried this, I would recommend you try this out. I can help you with this approach. A quick example would be, let's say you're used to eating breakfast. Instead of breakfast, you're going to go water and black coffee throughout the morning. You get to lunch. Ideally, you want to have maybe a smoothie, a protein shake, a ready-to-drink shake on the go, maybe a banana, something like that. I like to do that, and then I like to work out shortly after. And then after my workout is when I have dinner. That could be a steak, sweet potato, avocado. It could be ground beef, a little bit of white rice and avocado. It could be a bunch of eggs and stuff in a bowl, all types of stuff. Half a rotisserie chicken, sometimes a whole one, whatever it is that you want to make that's higher in protein. And that way you can get a little carbs, white rice, sweet potato, potatoes, any of that stuff. It's going to be really, really beneficial. With that said, this is the Nutrition Foundation module. If you have any questions, leave a comment below, post inside the group. Get started with this. If you need help with this, I will help you map this out. And if you want to have a more personalized approach, just shoot me a DM. Let me know. Shoot a comment in the group. I'd be more than happy to get with you on a phone call and go through how we can customize this approach for you. With that said, I will see you on the next video.